So you finally purchased a SuiteKey, but you have an existing monthly account that you need to transfer to the SuiteKey because you can't do it through support. They say it's not possible, but I found out how to do it. So let's jump into it so you can see how to do it too. So let's premise this by saying that I have been working with SuiteDash for a long time. I started making videos on this about a year ago. I hadn't made a video in a while. That's cool. We're going to get started again. Now, if you are like me, you've been paying for a monthly bill and you're like, okay, listen, I'm hooked on SuiteDash and I'm ready to get started. And now you've reached out to support and they've said, okay, listen, it's just not possible, but we can talk you through how to transfer your things. They do somewhat of a good job and then that's it. Now I'm going to show you how to actually do it. A lot of the things that you will see inside of your SuiteDash account will not be easily transferred. So what can be transferred? I'm going to show you what. First thing you want to do is create a doc that is going to be utilized as your transfer sheet. Actually, I'm going to do a Google Sheet instead because sheets are a lot easier to kind of navigate through. So let's do a new sheet. And you're going to utilize this Google Sheet as like your cheat sheet, okay? If you are able to create this through your computer itself, just use Excel, or if you can't, then I would say just put it inside of an email and just utilize it that way. You want to make sure that as you're going through this, that you are taking note of everything. So let's split the screen and let's make this bad boy make sense. First thing you want to do is understand what can and cannot be transferred. Each module has their own limitations, and so you cannot transfer everything. It's just not possible. Let's talk about what is possible. I would say that most of the modules have the ability to be transferred, but some are really hard to do and they're just manual. So we're going to start with circles. In your new platform, you want to go ahead and start doing your platform branding, or if you wanted to just simply start jumping into this, you can. I would recommend that you just do your platform branding by going down your branding list and then jumping into this transfer. You're going to open up your new account, and you're going to go into the circle section and you're going to create the circles that you're transferring over. Remember, this is manual, so you're just going to go ahead and add those circles in. So once you've done that, great. Now you've gotten your new circles in. I'm going down this list very strategically so you can understand what you can and cannot transfer. You cannot transfer the events that are existing, but you can manually recreate your event generators. If there are a ton that you have, I would just say to take some time to really dive into recreating those. The next one that you cannot transfer is deals. So deals are really based on your overall status of the client. So I would also notate that this will be imported when you're importing it through the export that you're going to do in the next week. So don't worry about that right now. Settings will need to be adjusted based on what you currently have in your platform. So I would say take a second to go through each of these settings and just recreate them. For billing, there's two things that on the top, I'm telling you now, that cannot be transferred: your invoices and estimates. You cannot transfer the current invoices that are there. You can export just a CSV to kind of showcase what you have already. And the estimates, same thing. You can just take a visual mental note or just notate that those can't get transferred. Now let's hop straight into proposals because that is transferable and that's good news. So the first thing you want to do is selectively choose whatever proposal that you have. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and hit the Save as Template button. When you do this, you will make sure to name it something that you will remember. Do not name it something that will be similar to others. You want to make it an identified template. Once you save that template, you're going to go over to the full templates location. This is going to be very this is very important for you to notate where these are, and also to notate that if you do a full template, you'll get the full template. And if you do a page template, you'll get just the page. So be mindful of which one you are duplicating. You want to also, again, make sure that inside of your platform branding that you've gone ahead and triggered this toggle to say enable/show the template library. That is very important because that's going to be showcasing at the bottom right here. So going back into proposals, I'm going to go ahead and select that full template that I want to transfer. You will have to do this one by one, so just make sure that you are keeping track of it on your checklist. I would say that this is going to be my SuiteDash transfer list, and you can name it whatever thing you want to name it, but that just works for me. On this list, I'm going to go ahead now and click options and contribute template. Once I do that, it's going to pull over the title, and then it's also going to ask you to categorize it. This is something that you will see. So unless you're going to share this and contribute it to the actual community, you don't have to worry about making this perfect. Choose one that best fits you. And then also you don't have to toggle the show creator name, but you can if you want to. You don't have to. What you do want to click is going to be share this template privately. Once you toggle this on, make sure to copy this key and drop it onto your list. This is the first key that you'll have, and this key is going to be used as your first template. I like to start this off by saying name and then private key. This is going to be the two indicators that you're going to have, and because I'm not going to activate these keys, you guys can't really take them, so I'm sorry. Then you want to hit share privately. Once you hit share privately, this is how you will transfer it over. And I'll actually do this for this one so that you can see exactly how this works. I'm going to show you what this looks like now here. So this is what I'm pulling over as a proposal. Okay, so these are the pages that it comes with. This is the thank you, all of the things. Okay, once you have clicked on that, I'm going to go back out of it and I'm going to go back to the template to just make sure that I activate it. Let's do contribute and share privately. And you can see that it regenerates a new code every time. So once you update that code, I'm going to also add the name and hit share privately. And then there's the name. Inside, oops, forgot to categorize it. Inside of your new account, you want to go ahead and pull it over. And what you're going to do is go over to the same platform branding, make sure that is enabled, click on template library, and then you're going to click on this beautiful little key here, and then you're going to paste that code. Once you paste the code, you're going to hit redeem. In this instance, it will not look like anything happened because really you didn't do anything much, but you did actually create a private code that gave you a private anonymous template. So now you're going to go ahead and click that template and you're going to see that it comes up with all the pages and you are going to be able to now add this template or you can use this template now. So if I say use this template now, it's going to ask me to name it and then hitting submit will then populate it so that I can be able to edit it. So it's now giving me the ability to add my target, my until dates, all of the things, and you can assign this to a user directly. Now, let's say that you want to utilize this as a generator. So as you can see, this is currently just copying over as a template. But if I wanted to utilize this as a generator, then I will need to do something opposite. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go over to my location here. Again, click on the template library. I'm going to click back on the private key and it's always going to be there. And you can see how many times you downloaded it, all the things. I'm going to click back on it and I'm going to add the template instead into this module. So it's going to go into the proposal module. When you add the template, then you are able to update the information, but it will save it as a template. So now we're saving it as a template. To create this as an actual, and I did it twice, but to create this as an actual page, what you're going to do is go to proposals and you're going to do add proposal. I'm going to click on generator. And then when you're inside of the generator, I like to always do the full view anyway. So I like to do the preview edit screen, which allows me to see it on a big screen. You're going to click on load template and then the template should be on that right side. always remember to click on, you can either, well, do three options. You can either copy it, you can either keep what you have there, which would do different things, or you can reset. I'm going to reset and I'm going to use load. And what this will do is just pull it in. And of course, you can customize it how you want. So I can delete pages, I can add pages. This is a fully loaded template. If I go back, I can now set the parameters of what I want this to be. So I can do X as the dominant, the dynamic placeholders. So I'll just do something right here, X, and then this. You can set all of the values. And now that you have actually created this, you can also create packages and, you know, subscriptions and all the things on this as well, because that's a new feature that I'll have a video on coming soon. And you want to just press activate. Once you hit activate, because I didn't put a value here, once you hit activate, you'll now be able to be presented back with that template, and you'll see that it is a project generator versus a direct proposal, which will only be sent to one individual. Now you have the option, obviously, if you wanted to just create a new direct one, that you can actually still be able to go ahead and load that same template in. You have that option as well. It's just a matter of, do you want to do it directly or do you want to create it as an automation? All right, cool. So we've now gotten our proposals in. You should take time to just load all of them in one by one and make sure that things are all right. The next thing that you want to note is that documents are another tricky one that can be transferred, and they can also go through that same template process where you'd be able to contribute this, and that's the same way that you will then add it inside of your new module. So you know how to do the module now in terms of pulling it from that publishing key. You'll just keep track of it from this list over here. So again, be reminded that payments are tied to invoices, and because they're tied to invoices, you can't transfer invoices, you can't transfer payments. You will be able to export them, so export your payments for your records, but you can also go ahead now and transfer your gateways. The best way to do that, and I will not click it because it's my publishing key, you'll go ahead and click on the config button on whatever you use and grab all of your private and public keys and pull that over to your new database. Settings as well, you just want to go through that list and make sure that all of the tabs to the left are accurately set up. I'm the stickler who always likes to have an invoice image as well as all of my other invoicing details added to the invoice as a default. So you want to make sure that all your default settings have been updated. You cannot transfer any messages. This is lost. However, you are able to just go ahead and, I would say, screenshot them just so you can have notation. The good thing is, though, is that all the messages were sent from your inbox. So if you ever wanted to search the inbox in your Outlook or Gmail, you can also get those. Calendars, events cannot be transferred. However, you can just resync your calendar onto the new dashboard or database so that you'll be able to get all your new events. You will have to recreate your appointments. These are not something that can be contributed. And the way that you can check if anything can be contributed is by simply clicking on the options button and just going through the list and seeing if you see contribute that document or file or type of module. You have the greatest thing you would need to do as well is do all of your default settings. So making sure you set that up, and remember that if you are going to integrate your Zoom, you need to reactivate your Zoom as well. So for what you may see on your side as projects, I have it as opportunities. There are some things you can transfer and other things you cannot. So the generators are not able to be contributed. You would have to recreate everything. You have to create everything in the projects module. So you would be able to just go ahead and just take the time now to look at the templates that you have and recreate those templates. It's just a little bit of a pain, but I would say just take the time to do that. You would also need to check again the settings to make sure that any of the settings that you've currently had inside of your old platform is transferred over to your new platform by you just taking the time to make those adjustments. Okay, SuiteDash. I think I'm overworking the system. So let's talk about campaigns and what that looks like to transfer. Now, a lot of the campaigns, you either are making them manually or you are making them simply by a template. The good news is that you can transfer them. So you would go through the process of, again, contributing the template, going through the process of naming it, adding it to your list. So take the time to do that and you'll be able to transfer those over. With the audiences, this is another system that I believe is just one that you would manually do, but it would be really good for you to first wait until you're uploading all of your contacts in order to then transfer your audiences because it would be tied to them. Files are also tricky. So the way that I've thought about doing this was at first I said, okay, let me transfer files, but this is not a package that you can utilize. It doesn't really allow you to do this the natural way of just pulling all the files. The only thing I can think of is just honestly by you grabbing all of them and then downloading it this way and then re-uploading what you want into the new platform. That's just the simplest way to do it. Not gonna make it any harder than that. Now let's talk about the dashboards. So dashboards are the same process as any other thing where you're able to, contribute it to save it as a template and then contribute that template and then pull it over. We've made a lot of beautiful dashboards. And so by making them, this is one of them that we, recreated. And this was for a tax process for someone. Beautiful, beautiful dashboard. Another one that I really enjoyed, I want to show you guys just because we are already here. So I like the dashboard that I have inside of this beautiful system. It's just a dashboard that I created. This one was fun to do. As you can see, it just gives you that really cool feel. And let's just jump over to portal pages while I'm here. So we've created some template portal pages just for the sake of having them here and just to share it for people who want to have it. But some of the portal pages, just because a lot of people need admin dashboards, these are transferable and I will give them away. So please feel free to let me know if you would love to have a dashboard. We have several ones like this. They're just templates that we've created. I think one of my other templates that I like is, let me see if this is the same one. So this one is pretty colorful. You can see how the alignment is here. Let me see if there's another one. And then I'll move forward because you guys are not here for this. You guys are just here to see how to transfer stuff. Okay, that's another one. But yeah, you're going to go through the list and do that by transferring it over. And same thing with the landing pages as well. You can contribute them. You can see that this is one that we did. This is a whole landing page. I'm really in love with this landing page. We did this and it was a beautiful succession. Let me see if it's gonna load better. There we go. So this is an entire landing page that we created. And it's all clickable buttons. So the text buttons work. And so this was transferred over as well. So you can see all the animations and then the links here as well. So that's something that you can definitely get transferred over if you are looking to transfer your contents. Announcements cannot be transferred. However, a lot of people don't really use the announcements feature, or at least I haven't seen a lot of people use it. People use just the pop-up notifications, the ones that we get as admins. You can send those to clients as well. So that's something that people use. Forms, yes, they are transferable. So you will do the same thing of contributing them. So you save them as a template first. From them, you will then go ahead and contribute them, get the key. The one thing that I will say about this is that you will be creating new custom fields for all of it inside of your form, your new space. So let's see if I actually have one that is sitting here. Let's do one together. So if I create this one here, and I'm going to go into my account here and pull it. Sorry, guys. I know I'm wagging my mouse like a crazy person. And then we're gonna go over to this key space, pull it, redeem it. I think I already had one in here, but then I come here and then click on kickoff. There will be a message that pops up and says, this is a preview, of course, but what also happens when you're adding the template is that it lets you know that all the custom fields will be added as well. If you decide that you want to delete the custom fields later, you would have to go to the custom fields space and manage those custom fields and remove it. So that's something big to just remember, because that is a lot of times people are creating duplicate fields. And so just notate that that's something that you'll have to be aware of. So I have a couple power ups, and with my power ups, I have the ability to do cannons, the email cannons. You are not able to transfer these over, even though you have templates on them. They're just not a transferable feature, so you'd have to recreate those. When you're recreating items, a lot of times people don't know like how to pull them over, because it took you time to create this. I would say to simply just go inside the email and edit the cannon. And if you want the exact same layout that you have, copy over the HTML code, and that HTML code will copy it exactly how you have it. So instead of having to do a copy and paste, sometimes copying and pasting, it doesn't always pull it over as cleanly as you want. So copying it from the HTML layer does create that same exact presentation. So do it that way, and that will save you a ton of time. Same for the form cannons. These cannot be transferred over, but you can, again, edit them, and you can just take the information that you have and just make sure that you replicate it. And then when you're at the messaging section, just copy that information over as well. So those are key things to do. Schedules are another place that you cannot transfer, and it's because these are manually created per your system. So you just want to have to recreate them. But when you go inside of the schedules and you have any automations, what you can do is just make sure that the automations, if you have like emails, templates in there, you can copy it via the same HTML process, and then that will be able to transfer it easily for you. That's just a key way that you could do it. Let's talk through flows, because this is another one that a lot of people may or may not feel that they can transfer easily. It's unfortunate because you cannot transfer it over, just showcasing it here. However, you are able to, again, go down the list and just make sure that you are doing the same thing you had here over there, going into each step. Same thing with the checklist, and making sure that you have all the things transferred over. LMS is going to be another space that's also going to be non-transferable. It is a bit difficult to have so many products, and from the products you have to recreate them. There's just not a way to right now transfer these over. So just make sure that you're taking the time to get the support to transfer these over. And then the last thing I want to mention are the settings for all of the content, the CRM, product, projects, office, marketing, and the portal pages. It is key that you are replicating your system the same way that you had it there. I would say this will take probably, depending on how many things you have, anywhere from a week over to a month, depending on, again, your capacity. You would want to make sure that your account is still fully active until then, because if it does not stay active, it will remove your access and you won't have access to any of the files either. When you're doing your custom login, you want to make sure that you mark it as the unlocked first, and then you want to go ahead and mark it as locked inside of your other platform, so that you can then recreate the customization and update all of the information, because that's not something transferable either. And then you want to go ahead and grab all of your staff. Your staff will need to be added manually, and they will be able to retrieve their invitation. So go ahead and do that. It's another big deal for you to go ahead and just update all of your email templates. Again, this is an old system, so these videos make me so cringe. But you have the ability to go through all of these, because this is not something that would be transferred automatically, but you can easily just take the HTML code and have someone just go through them one by one. finishing it out with your custom menus, just go ahead and do the same thing with your custom menus to make sure that you have those processed over, as well as integrations, all the things. When you're done with all of that, I would say then you should transfer over your companies and your clients. So when you transfer over your clients and companies, you want to make sure that you go into the link itself. You're going to click on the all button, and then you want to click on the little select all indicator and then click on export. When you click on export, you want to just utilize the entire listing that you have here. And then if you want to just select the ones that you really want to pull over, you can. Or if you just want to take everything and then move it over, you can also do that. But for the forms that they've already completed, you want to just map it in each of the fields. That's going to be the big thing to do. And outside of that, that's how you pretty much transfer. Keeping up with this list is important. This can be utilized as your transfer key just to make sure that everything is transferred accordingly. And I hope this video was not that bad. How do you feel? I know that this may feel a bit frustrating and it's not the best that you would have expected. You just want everything to transfer seamlessly, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. And if you need support and help, we are here. So don't worry, I got you. I thank you so much for your time. And again, this is just a safe space for you to learn about SuiteDash because it's the bomb. And I don't know about you, but y'all better come get one of these.